And good morning, everyone, from screen to screen. And thank you so much for joining our digital event, Tailor-Made, the Art and Science of Care-Centered Workplace Design. My name is Yasmin, and I very much look forward to accompanying you through our live stream session. It's my great pleasure. So what is today all about? Now, these next 60 minutes are all about one very important topic, care-centered workplace design. We would like to provide you with insights and solution approaches from the perspective of a specialist for clinical know-how and future trends in the hospital sector. Providing virtual tools and workshops in our global design centers, as well as working with a network of specialists in both fields, we from Dräger know how many of the challenges for clinicians and architects or planners firsthand. And I can tell you this much, there are two things I am very sure about. Number one, many of these said specialists are in our audience out there today. And number two, I'm sure that all of you would like to know what this means exactly. Now, here's a quick sneak peek for you to show you what to expect within the next hour. We may have one important topic coming up, but there are so many highlights. There will be interviews and talks with specialists from Dräger, but also with healthcare architect Magnus Nickel and with Professor Dr. Axel Merseburger, director of the Clinic for Urology at the University Hospital in Lübeck. And also, we would like to present you a preview of our new design center in Lübeck that's going to be opening in the near future. And yes, there are many highlights, but there is only one absolute debut. Today, you will join the very first digital launch of our latest product, our new ceiling supply system. All right, now before we start with our very first exciting topic, why don't you allow me to share some technical hints with you and learn something about you as our audience today while we're at it, okay? Now, if you can see and hear me now, that means you've done well. You've managed to start the live stream, that's great, which is of course the most important thing, but there is more to it, of course. In case you're already watching this in full mode, then please exit full mode for just one moment so I can show you something. Now, right under the live stream window, you'll find an input mask. If there are any content-related questions or you would like to send us your feedback in real time throughout the sessions, then please don't hesitate to just drop us a line right there. At the end of the event, we will be answering a few selected issues, and we will also provide answers to all of your questions in the wake of the event on our website. But you can also share your feedback right on point with a quick reaction, because after all, who could possibly imagine a digital event without emojis, right? No, neither could I. So go right ahead and choose one of two reactions right beside the play button now. All right, you guys, do you feel inspired by our new solutions, and would you like to discuss your opportunities? We love to hear about your personal challenges, so go ahead and get in touch with your local Dräger specialist. Please find the link to your regional website right below the input mask. And speaking of local specialists, what I'd really like to know, starting out, is where from you are watching and in which field you're the specialist. So please use the survey tool right next to the live stream window to answer two short questions and make your pick now if you haven't already done so. All right, I'm looking forward to finding out more about you. We're just going to wait till we have gathered all of those answers. Let me just say that digital streaming is definitely a great opportunity in times of a pandemic, of course, but it's always a little sad that I can't see my audience or really interact with you. And of course, let me just say that we've also taken a lot of safety measures to avoid infection. I will come back to that just a bit later. But now the poll has already closed, and I'm seeing fantastic news on my screen right here and also behind me. Now, as you can see yourself, you are joining the live session from all over the world. Good for you. And most of our viewers are apparently from Europe, so welcome to all our fellow Europeans out there. And of course, we have a lot of viewers from Asia joining us. We have the Americas, a bit of Australia, and it's a bit mingled, but mainly Europe and Asia. All right, that's brilliant. So we're as international as we can be in a time of times of pandemic. All right, now let's look at question number 2. Perhaps you've already answered that as well. We will be talking to specialists from a lot of different fields today, so let's have a look at that. You should already be seeing that, and in just a minute I'll be welcoming my first interview partner, by the way. Speaking of specialists from different fields, he's going to join me here on stage. But for now, let's just wait till we have collected and gathered all of your answers to know which field you are a specialist in. All right, so we're waiting for that, and next up we have Magnus Nickel coming up on stage to tell me a bit more about his own personal challenges, and challenges, that is something we will be hearing a lot about throughout the day. So once more, next up, Magnus Nickel from Nickel and Partner. And I will return to ask about your very own individual challenges in just a minute. And we're still waiting for those answers to gather here to see which sector you are the specialists in. Now, let me just give you, while we're waiting, one last quick hint, or actually the answers are here right now. Let's check it out. Okay, so we have a lot of other. So apparently the answer was not given. It was not provided for you, but we do have a lot of planners or architects. Brilliant. We have a lot of information, a lot of exciting news coming up for you here. And other, we will have to verify and clarify what that means throughout our session. Perhaps we'll be able to find out at the very end of the session when we have a look at those questions and at your comments that you can share throughout the day. All right, now, as I was saying, thank you so much for participating in our 2 questions. We'll have a look at your challenges in a minute, but that last hint that I was about to give you is please use the arrow button at the bottom of the player to watch this live stream in full mode from now on. So now you can return to full mode, that is, to get the best view of everything. But next up, let's watch a short introduction video about the complex challenges of the planning process when it comes to clinical environments. All right, everyone, please roll the film.
A medical workplace design nearly always starts with an empty room. A room that has to be filled with a vision, a room reflecting the holistic needs of the hospital. Trends, innovations and new developments are just a few of design parameters that are constantly changing. It's an ongoing challenge to meet the demands of both patient and staff, covering such aspects as ergonomics, future-proofing, the latest in technology, and of course, hygiene. And to make sure that the environment will support convalescence and improve clinical outcomes. So how can a design consolidate these different needs? And how do I implement my ideas within the existing recommendations and regulations? How will technical and clinical trends affect the clinical processes? To what extent are customized solutions possible? And how much creative freedom is still available? Who can support me during the design process? And what happens when things change?
All right, now as you can see, questions upon questions upon questions, and as I already announced, you are up next to answer our question. So tell me, what is your personal challenge? Please submit your answer using the input mask on the event page. And I'll just give you another minute to type in your challenges if you haven't done so yet. Let me just use the opportunity to tell you a bit more about our very own challenge. Are you ready? Okay, here it comes. It is hosting an event in times of a pandemic. Obviously, be assured that the entire crew, from myself to the speakers about to join me on stage to the camera team, are all vaccinated and tested. We're all wearing masks, we're keeping distance whenever it's possible, and besides that, there are a lot of hygiene regulations here on set. And the good thing is, who, if not Dräger, could ensure safety, security, and health at the workplace, right? Infection prevention will, by the way, even be a very important topic today, but this session is not about our challenges back to you, it's about yours. So let me just see if those answers have been collected, and let's have a look at some of your challenges right here on my screen. And I also see them, all right. I see them behind us, and the answers are quite obvious. It's ergonomics. We have light management, apparently a big challenge to a lot of you out there. Sustainability makes a lot of sense. Process workflow analysis, cost of care, digitalization, noise mitigation. All right, so ergonomics is, I think, one of the biggest challenges, it appears. And we have healing design, we have virtual and physical mock-up. We're going to be handling some of those topics. A lot of those challenges, actually, I see here are going to be part of our session today. So it's even better that you guys have joined us. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for the interesting insights into your very own daily needs. And there's something that I'm sure of, whatever the challenge is, elaborated planning will always be a huge part of the solution. So why don't we check out what Magnus Nickel, healthcare architect and managing director of Nickel and Partner Architects, has to tell us about the future of the medical workplace design. Magnus, thank you so much for joining me on stage. Now this is your true applause, and out there your virtual applause. Nice to see you. Now, Magnus, you heard what we were just talking about challenges. And from your point of view as an architect, what are the challenges that you're facing when it comes to the design of the working environment in, let's say, any modern hospital today?
I think many of the challenges are already on the screen behind us. We combine them under the logo or under the slogan Healing Architecture. So we really have to take care what is the patient experience, what is the staff experience in the hospital of the future. Do we have daylight? If we don't have daylight, how do we take care that we have an atmosphere, an environment which is nice to heal in, but also to work in? Because you know, we have a challenge to find good staff, to also attract young people to come to work in the hospitals, and I think that is our main contribution. But it's also about noise. So how do we reduce noise? How do we make sure that greenery is integrated into the building? Then the second big challenge is sustainability. I think that is clear. You just have to watch the news. We are it's also there. So we have to make sure that our buildings are also built in a sustainable way, and that we use materials where we know that they are not harming the environment. And it's not only about putting 26 centimeters of insulation to the outside of the facade, but it's really the holistic approach. So really from the beginning until the end. So how much energy does a hospital need? How do we make sure that the supplies are used properly and that they are not wasted, that medicine is not wasted? So if you look at how much energy, how much consumables a hospital has, it is a huge impact. And thirdly is flexibility. I think you know, we just came out of a pandemic, or we're still in a pandemic, and a flexible hospital is really contributing to these new circumstances. And we now see that a lot of clients, but also a lot of politicians, are now taking these new circumstances very seriously, and we hope that this will have a long-lasting impact.
We all hope that the situation will also improve in these next months to come. And you did, thank you for that, give us a very good run through of all of your own challenges, and also evaluating where to begin is a big part of it. So what are the key success factors if we look towards the end, let's say, of all of the challenges? What are the key success factors for a hospital planning projects nowadays? Some of them you've already mentioned.
I think we have to include all stakeholders very early into the process. So I think it's not done by just writing a room program, giving it to the architect and hoping everything will go smoothly. But we really have to involve the clinicians from an early stage, but also end users, caregivers, and but also politicians, local authorities. And if we all bring them together to a round table, I think that is a very good way to start such a very complex project, because it's to build a hospital is not similar to building, I don't know, a housing compound or something, but it's really a complex process. And also to think really from the beginning, what are the goals, what do we want to reach? And then we sometimes bring everyone together on one table and say, okay, this is our agenda, and everyone has to sign it. And that's what we will stick to through the whole process.
So Magnus, would you say that your personal conclusion out of all of this is that there has to be a lot of change also on a governmental level, on a political level? It sounded like that's what was going to be very important in the future.
I do think so. I think we had a lot of budget restrictions in the past, and some of them were really silly, and I think we have to rethink it. So obviously, a lot of our projects are government funded, and we have to take good care of every euro we spend, and we have to ensure that it is spent in a good way. But we also have to think what is future-proof and what isn't, and how can we work with the rules, which are sometimes very silly and a little bit restricting. How can we work with these rules? Maybe we have to do some adjustments in order to really generate a hospital which is future-proof. And what I also want to point out, thank you for inviting me, that we also have to work very closely with private sector companies like Dräger together, that we really achieve the goal together, because at the end of the day, the products we are using, which we are putting into the hospital, are designed, they are produced by these companies. And I think if we talk to each other and if we are in a dialogue, I think we can develop better products for the future.
That sounds brilliant, and we definitely look forward and value the partnership very much. Thank you so much, Magnus, for all of these exciting insights. Thank you. All right, and now next up, it is time for us to hear from our next guest here on stage. David is coming up next. He's a specialist for workplace design consultation at Dräger, and he's going to tell us what we can do to make your job a bit less complicated. David, isn't that so? Nice to see you.
Yeah. Thank you, Yasmina. Yeah, very interesting discussion. From Draeger's side, Draeger has more than 60 years of experience in acute care workplace solutions. Our overall global expertise in medical technologies, clinical processes, trends, international standards and recommendations, and to be able to deliver according to our customers' needs, both actual and in the future, serve as a basis for our workplace design consultation. The key factors to our consultation approaches are always individual, as every project is unique, holistic, because without the complete picture, it's impossible to provide the ultimate solution. Humanistic, focusing on staff and patient needs. And interactive, as already explained, as only a multidisciplinary team can effectively deliver the required results.
All right, David, thank you so much for giving us this brief opening. And the good news here is that we will be seeing a lot more of David throughout the day. So thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing you again later, David. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
David will be back to present the highlight of the day, the latest Dräger product development. So don't miss out on that shortly. And for now, it's only going to be David's voice we will be hearing, because he's coming up next to present Dräger's design philosophy, which is planning that begins with the patient.
Every medical workplace is unique, and the requirements are more than just a combination of medical devices. To develop a concept, we have to step into the planning process at an early stage to identify and analyze workflows, technology, and the resulting spatial requirements. We can support planners from a very early stage, offering a wealth of information on workplace requirements around the patient bed, operating table, or incubator. Work routines, medical care, and the associated technology have all become more complex, the workload for staff increasing dramatically. At the same time, the clinical treatments have changed. Aspects like access to the patient, noise, light, or family integration have to be kept in mind for an optimally designed room.
All right, and someone who knows all about these challenges firsthand is Professor Dr. Axel Merseburger, Director of the Clinic for Urology at the University Hospital in Lübeck, Germany, and he's already by my side. Axel, nice to see you today.
Jasmine, thanks a lot, and thanks for trusting a urologist being involved in such a great activity here.
Of course.
As said, it is a very complex and increasing difficult environment we are working in. And so we have obese patients. We have situations where, let's give you an example, like in an airplane, the pilot, the staff, and also the patients or the passengers need to be involved, that everything runs smoothly and that you have a safe trip, safe journey, and also a smooth landing. And I think this accounts the same for a hospital environment, like a modern hospital like UKSH, where I'm working right now.
So these are your personal challenges, or what would be your personal challenges when it comes to hospital planning in the operating theater itself?
Well, my personal challenges is please don't forget the staff. And as Magnus and David already alluded to, I think it is very important to plan initially with the staff. They involve doctors, the nurses, but also the patients and also the personnel that is responsible for cleaning, for example. This is often forgotten because it is very important to involve all the people working in a hospital when it's running, when you want to cure patients, when you want to heal and operate. And this is, I think, very important. Aside, I think my personal conclusions is we have all those, what you see in commercials, like those modern KI, virtual reality, those air tagging of things, the Internet of Things. So possible in the future would be to somehow integrate this in a modern OR and hospital environment, that we are able to know where the things are, to know where the patients are, to know where the personnel is, to combine this all together. I think this is very important.
Axel, what about challenges in other care workplaces? If we have a look at the intensive care units, for example, what would you consider the greatest challenges there currently?
Intensive care is not really a region where a lot of, especially the patients, they are in a very difficult situation. They are very, very sick, and it's an environment where you have a lot of equipment. So here it's really helpful to support not only the staff but also the patients for having a user and for the patient-friendly environment. And as you see from television, that intensive care used to be like full of hoses and beeping instruments, but this is changing, and I think this is very important. As said by Magnus, you want to have it, I've heard the word green. I think this is very good, not only for the patients, but also for the staff to have a user-friendly environment, because honestly, we are the ones that spend the whole day on the intensive care, and we want to have it user-friendly. And this is also something where you, as or here, the Dräger company, supports greatly, that you don't need 100 of little dots or little switches to use. So you need the important switches that everybody, especially now with limited resources, limited personnel in anesthesia, I think this is very important to really have a good working environment, like in an airplane, for example.
I think that's great news, not only to partners watching, but also to anyone who has ever had anyone in intensive care unit. It sounds like the situation can definitely be simplified and improved. So we always like to ask for a personal conclusion at the end of our short talk. Axel, what would be your personal conclusion today?
I think, as you already alluded to, and Magnus, I think we should sit together at the very, very initial stage of the planning. Let me give you an example. I was in the OR today in the morning, and I wanted to take some pictures of something I saw. I was resecting a bladder tumor, and I need one foot for the resection and the other one for the picture. And those two switches are so far away, I need to do a spagat. So it's something I want to know before. I mean, it sounds funny, but this is something when you have to do it every day, you want to get involved as a clinician up front. And I think this communication, that's why I'm grateful and thankful for Dräger involving me in this symposium today. And I think this is very important to include all the partners at an early stage. And this would be my personal conclusion. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Axel. And communication is key, as you've just said. That's a very important takeaway. Thank you for giving us all of these honest insights into your daily work business and your challenges. Thank you so much. Thanks. We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
And now, everyone, it's time for us to see what we can actually offer to get ahead of all of these challenges. So it's time for us to roll the next film, please.
To get ahead of all these challenges, we offer to visit the care unit, watch the work processes, and interview the staff going through their daily routines. Based on our process and workflow analysis, we can support planners during their first schematic designs by showing how clinicians and staff work and which improvements are possible. To consolidate all of these challenges, Digital planning software such as the Draeger 3D tool are available to design and review ideas, assisting planners in creating a first draft of their medical workplaces.
And the detailed planning of modern medical workplaces does not only require knowledge and lots of experience, but also technological expertise, because even the most brilliant minds do need some support. For example, the help of state-of-the-art software tools. And Dietmar Schäfer, specialist for user experience technology, is here with me now. Dietmar, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Hope you're doing well today.
Thank you very much.
Now, Dietmar, can you tell us what the benefits are? Explain to us in detail what the benefits are of 3D and virtual reality tools?
Yes, of course. And so nowadays, medical equipment in acute care areas is not only defined by clinical staff in cooperation with hospital planners and architects. Also, the facility management, controlling, purchasing department and others are involved in the decision. Every stakeholder brings with him different requirements, needs and knowledge. Our 3D tool, shown next to me, helps to understand this. For us, it's important that all stakeholder groups communicate and exchange information among each other. Ideally, they also understand each other and speak one language. The media of architects and planners, drawings, dimensioned mock-ups and schematic diagrams are not enough to optimally support the concept phase, so Dräger thus offers specific tools to facilitate the planning process. Our 3D tool is being used to visualize a first draft of the patient or operating rooms. In this illustration, our customers understand quickly what the idea will look like in reality and can develop new ideas based on their knowledge. The 3D tool allows to directly adapt or redevelop the rooms and medical workplaces according to individual needs in an interactive workshop with all project members. Different workstation setups are so easy to compare as shown in the next sequences of the video. Apart from that, processes and workflows can be tested virtually. Through recurring steps in that design process, the risk of planning mistakes can be minimized and clinical workflows can be optimized. In order to get even more concrete, we use photorealistic renderings of virtual reality, which gives the customer the option to experience the future rooms and workplaces interactively in an immersive one-to-one scale. And if our customers want to test these digital medical workplace hands-on, we offer workshops in one of our design centers where we actually build the workplaces according to the drafts. In these workshops, you can experience the new workplaces in a nearly realistic manner and see if workflows run smoothly. Here, it is often the case that customers totally change their concept or make adaptations to it, which will then be integrated into the plans.
Thank you so much, Dietmar. This is fantastic because I think this really gives all of us a better idea of what user experience technology and the 3D tool in combination with virtual reality mock-ups can do for planners and for architects. And as you have said, our clients, our partners, all of you have the possibility to experience these benefits in our design centers all around the world. And in order for those who have never visited one of those centers yet to get a better picture, we have prepared for you the following short film.
Draeger Design Centers provide customers around the world with the opportunity to create and experience their future medical workplaces hands-on. With our capabilities and technology, we can actually build workplaces as delivered and integrate them into the given environment. Because for us, it is important to ensure that the planned workplace concept fits with the surrounding infrastructure. Together with our experts, the medical staff can meticulously assemble and test workplace design concepts to make sure that the results will meet their current and future care delivery needs within the hospital environment. refurbished, the Lübeck Dräger Design Center will bring visitors face-to-face with a whole new holistic spatial experience. It's all about healing environments, the planning of light and color, and the supportive environment to engage families, and of course, ergonomics and infection prevention. Furthermore, our concept provides clinicians and planners with the opportunity to view and discuss the acute care workplaces of the future. Together, we bring visions to life and show how technology meets a whole new range of ideas for the medical workplace.
So has this now made you curious about visiting one of Dräger's design centers? There is a very good chance that there's a design center very near you. So go ahead, contact your local specialist and discuss the options. And Dietmar, now is your chance for a short conclusion, as always, to end. What can our viewers expect exactly when they do reach out and contact Dräger for planning consultation?
First and foremost, we focus on providing a spatial environment, digital and hands-on, that enables a holistic solution that goes beyond the medical workplace. It brings together the contributions required for a qualitative design, consolidates and coordinates the stakeholders and their knowledge. This must be humanistic, optimizing workflows, reducing complexity and stress, and generally creating a comfortable and healing environment for patients, staff and family. In parallel, we must also help identify and provide solutions for aspects such as meeting medical requirements, improving hygiene, reducing costs, future-proofing, regulatory compliance, and of course, initial installation and future service support.
Dietmar, thank you so much for sharing all of this detail, and all the best. We'll see you soon, I hope.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dietmar. And I think our audience, I think all of you are now ready for the special guest, the most special guest of our live stream session. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it comes, one of today's absolute highlights. Please enjoy the following film. We proudly present the latest Dräger product to optimize your daily workflows, our new Ambia ceiling supply system. Brilliant. Wonderful. But I'm sure that you, our audience, would like to know everything there is to know about what the ceiling supply unit can do for its patients and its medical staff. And I'm happy to say it can do a whole lot. So it's now time for a short excursion to our prototype factory, where David is already waiting to give us more details. So David, what exactly are the benefits when it comes to workplace design in the intensive care unit?
Thank you, Yasmin. The intensive care unit is one of the most stressful and frustrating areas of a hospital. Highly skilled caregivers provide around-the-clock critical care to acutely ill patients, often wavering between life and death. Devices alarm, telephones are ringing, staff call for assistance, a tumult of noise, harsh light, stress. A single mistake can have devastating consequences. Only an optimized workplace, customized to the needs of the staff, can minimize risk and ensure quality care. And the staff are certainly the heart of every care unit workplace. But the supply units, they provide the backbone. And like the human backbone, the supply units need to be able to adapt and support every situation. The new Draeger supply system, Ambia, short for ambience, was specifically designed to be easily adaptable, user-friendly, and support the comfortable patient and staff environments expected in hospitals today. Its module concept opens a world of choice. First up, the basics. The Ambia, as we see it here, is available as a column, but also as a head. The columns are available in cross-sectional sizes small, medium, and large, and in lengths from 500 millimeters up to 1,500 millimeters. The heads are available in small, medium, and large, and are also available in 2 widths. Ambia can be mounted to a large range of arm and beam systems, providing a choice of movement and positioning flexibility up to 2,500 millimeters. The maximum loading, depending on the constellation, is a staggering 340 kilos. Already you can see that the Ambia has a lot of potential when it comes to choosing the exact specification for your needs. Now let's extend customization with functionality. Primarily, supply units are used to position gas and electrical services at the patient, so bringing them off the wall. This can help free up space around the patient, especially at the head area, which is very important in critical situations. It also gets hoses and cables up off the floor, making it for easy cleaning, improving safety, preventing tripping, and cartwheels occluding hoses. As you can see, the Ambia has patient services on all sides. Over the full length and in practically any position. Yes, up to 102 outlets where they are needed. If you need an electrical outlet under a gas outlet to power a patient bed or an incubator, then so be it. Next comes easy maneuverability, especially with heavy workloads such as anesthesia machines or patient ventilators. Here, the bearings, the grips, and brake systems play a major role. Easy glide bearings within the arm profiles ensure for smooth movement. Friction, pneumatic, and electromagnetic brakes, plus combinations, mean fixed positioning, but controlled release during emergencies. The friction pneumatic combination, or dual brake, function from Draeger is a tried and tested example. The ergonomically styled grips on the shelf fronts and on the columns and heads incorporate intuitive touch brake release sensors, which then automatically release all of the brakes. This in turn makes it easy for the caregiver to quickly move and position the workstations as required. Then, of course, we have to be able to customize or set up the workplace to the actual user's requirements. Medical devices, shelves, drawers, monitor arms, and other accessories can all be configured, repositioned, or retrofitted by qualified staff at any time. Ambia's unique frame rail mounting concept, found on all 4 corners of the column, provide a 360-degree all-round solution, enabling positioning on all sides, corners, and at any height. Further, optional medical rails and poles enhance this functionality. And if this isn't already enough, the Ambia concept has even more to offer. Increased medical device technology has also increased the need to route and store cables and hoses. The Ambia features a whole range of user-friendly solutions, starting with 2 closed vertical column channels. The premium version, as we can see here, is designed to hide all the cables and hoses of fixed stationary devices such as ventilators and monitors, providing routing and storage, but also hidden electrical outlets. With services stored and hidden behind this easy-to-clean door, this helps hide technology, remove clutter, so supporting a healing environment. The basic version, as seen over here, provides general routing and storage, all hidden from view behind an easy clean door. The next cable storage option I'd like to show you is actually in the side of the drawer. Sealed by a sliding door, this extra storage volume provides all of the previous benefits, but also available under certain conditions for the storage of power supplies required for some medical devices. An intensive care workplace is a highly complicated working environment. Ensuring all-round access to the patient whilst positioning a multitude of medical devices ergonomically and within easy reach of the medical staff is not easy in itself. But to do this and support a comfortable, healing and working environment requires a superlative pendant concept. And this is the Ambia. Let's find out more in the NICU and operating theatre. Back to you, Yasmin.
And thank you. Wow, David, thanks for all the information. Loving the energy, as always. And to me, it sounds like an extremely useful product that can really ease the workflows of the medical staff for sure. So thanks, David. Now, we would like to hear what your colleagues from the United States can tell us about the benefits of the Ambia supply unit in neonatal care. That healing environment is a critical component of the built-in environment is even more evident when we talk about the smallest patient population, their parents, and the staff that support them. And our resident specialist, Merwan, will now discuss the key elements of patient room design for neonatal care, coming to us live from the United States.
Thank you, Yasmina, and hello from our Draeger Design Center in Telford, Pennsylvania. What we've learned from evidence-based research in the last decade, and specifically in neonatal care, is that the new standard for outcome in the NICU is not just about survival, but intact survival. The brain development and growth for low birth weight infants that takes place during their stay in the NICU will dictate how they're going to live the rest of their lives. So beyond clinical practice, we now have to look at the environmental factors such as sound, light, touch, and positioning to create an environment that is conducive to neurodevelopment. Also, the involvement of parents in the care process is of critical importance. It is now a fact that family-integrated care supports better outcome. So our job as specialists in neonatal care design is to create a dedicated space for parents that allows them to feel welcomed, comfortable, and empowers them to be part of the care team. We need to remove any obstacles to facilitate kangaroo care and ensure that seamless process to support that bonding between parents and baby. Our holistic Dräger NICU workplace incorporates the Ambia ceiling supply systems, but also protective therapy solutions such as neonatal ventilation, patient monitoring, warming therapy, but also accessories and service support, all from one hand. As you can see in this workplace, the Ambia supply system provides an optimal platform for all-round device and accessory integration. It not only organizes the space according to your clinical workflow, but also maintains the integrity and positioning to support adherence with established protocols and preserve that family space. A touchless working light provides direct illumination for working surfaces, keeping the incubator interior dimmed and allowing the infant to sleep peacefully. The quiet self-closing drawer with automatic light switch gives you access to supplies with minimal stimulation to the infant. Integrated sound and light monitoring solutions allows you to support noise reduction initiatives and protect sleep. Indirect ceiling lighting illuminates and provides a warm, comforting glow to the room, enhancing that homely feeling. Navigational floor lighting illuminates wide area around the Ambia column base in order for room lights to be dimmed, but at the same time, assist family and staff to work and orientate themselves safely. So in order to create such an environment, we conduct a thorough workflow analysis to ensure that design is in line with clinical practice. use the latest in evidence-based design to support best practices, and use our design center to conduct workshops that help us fine-tune that final workspace.
Thank you so much, Marwan. Now, it is always a very emotional topic that we talk about when we picture newborns fighting their way into the world. But at the same time, there's obviously no place for these types of emotions in operational settings, because there it's all about focus. And to speak about just that, I would now like to welcome our specialist, Marco Monik, who will explain how an ergonomic workplace design in the OR can contribute to staff satisfaction, but also to staff safety. Right, Marco?
Yes. Thanks for the introduction. And follow me in the operating theater, where ergonomics is so important. Procedures are very tightly timed and staff work hand in hand. And most importantly, no two procedures are the same. There has to be an adjustment in the position of the operating environment with each new patient. The location of the procedure is different. The position of the staff changes each time. So a lot of emphasis has been placed on operation and positioning with the new supply units. Positioning an entire unit with one grip. This helps and facilitates the positions of all devices and displays, which are very important for the success of the whole procedure. Draeger is developing workstations that will meet the requirements of a digital work environment in the future. And for this, everyone involved in an operation must have equal access to the data supplied and used. The surgeons need a good position. The anesthesiologist needs an overview. And the operating room nurse needs a simple and uniform operating concept across all systems. Ambia delivers this ergonomics. Anyone can quickly and easily adjust the position of the pendant using the Bluetooth operating concept of the handles. Also important for hygienic reprocessing of the OR. And after a long day, the units can be swung away quickly to ensure 100% cleaning at any point. The flexible positioning again allows the entire team to place all devices quickly, ergonomically, and ideally for the user through intuitive repositioning. Small details such as integrated sockets on the side drawers also create a high level of workplace safety. The possible color coding of the storage space creates quick access to material in an emergency. Here the user can create a clear structure in all operating units, and thus another piece of patient safety. And even in the event of sudden changes that occur in a darkened operating room, the integrated lighting concept, which can also be touch-free if desired, can quickly restore a safe working environment. With the new cable management system, we have succeeded in clearly and hygienically connecting the permanently installed devices, while at the same time providing fast integration of other individually required devices. So, with our improved workplace concept, the Ambia, with its functionality and flexibility for the user, creates the perfect connection between the necessary medical equipment, the requirements of a very flexible operating room on the one hand, and on the other hand, one that can be quickly adapted with a focus on employee satisfaction and patient safety. In this way, a future-oriented workplace can be created that can also react flexibly to innovations in the coming years and develop along with them.
Marco, thank you so much. I think it's amazing all the different cases, all the different environments in which Ambia Supply Unit can play an important role when it comes to optimal workflows. So thank you very much for demonstrating that and shining a light on that.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Marco. And we have nearly reached the end, ladies and gentlemen, but let's make time for one last very important topic, infection prevention. David is about to rejoin us to give us some insights into that aspect before finally answering some of your questions. This also means now is your very last chance to submit a question if you still have one. So please keep that in mind while you're listening. And besides that, all I can say is, David, the stage is all yours again.
Thank you, Yasmina. Yeah, infection prevention. We've just come out of the operating theatre. Quite right. Nosocomial infection is a major issue when it comes to hospital morbidity. Catastrophic, epidemic, and now the latest pandemic situations mean we also have to ensure maximum hygienic conditions, even when faced with hospital overcrowding. Preventing healthcare-associated infections is possible, but it takes a conscious effort with everybody working together towards improving personal and general hygiene. Dräger workplace design, planning consultation, plus products such as the Ambia complement each other when it comes to supporting infection prevention. During planning, we always recommend a workplace solution that reduces clutter, gets everything up off the floor, provides hose and cable routing, ensures adequate storage to free up the work surfaces, and generally support overall easy cleaning of surfaces and hand disinfection according to local protocols. The Ambia supports all of these needs. As you can see, it has smooth and rounded surfaces to enhance cleaning. All medical devices, shelves, drawers, and accessories can be mounted clear of the floor, ensuring fast workplace and room cleaning. To reduce contact infection, the Ambia uses the latest technology for touchless light control. Yes, can be programmed to switch on and off with just a wave of your hand. Draeger is one of the only companies that has tried and tested 23 validated disinfectant agents that can be used with all of the Draeger medical devices. This offers the customer both cost, time, and storage savings. When it comes to infection control, Draeger Ambia has nothing, or perhaps everything, to hide.
Great, David. Thank you so much. Now time is running out, and as promised, we would like to answer some of those viewer questions. So let's get right to it, David, shall we?
Yep.
Coming up, here's our first question. David, can you share the presentation after the event? That's a good question.
Oh, definitely, Jasmine. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, if whoever would like the presentation, then contact your Draeger subsidiary or your sales representatives wherever you are in the world, and I'm sure they will be able to deliver you the presentation from today.
I also have some information about receiving information that we've heard and seen here today in retrospect. I'll get back to that at the very end. Thank you, David, for that first one. Are electromagnetic brakes available?
Yes.
That was very clear, yes?
I already discussed this at the very beginning. We have a whole assortment of brakes, whether it's friction, pneumatic, but also electromagnetic. Yep.
All right, thank you for verifying, David. Next question up, are your products already MDR certified?
They will be released MDR certified, yes.
Perfect. Will the Ponta beam system also be new?
The Ponta beam system, the solution will include the Ambia columns and heads. Yes, it's part of the complete portfolio. Yes.
So it's part of the complete new portfolio. Thank you.
The new Ambia portfolio, yeah.
The new Ambia portfolio. Thank you. Most important question, when exactly will the Ambia be available?
Right now. As soon as we finish, it's available. Today is the release day. Yep.
Can you tell us how soon that would be?
Ballpark. Yes, I mean, you can place orders for the Ambia right now. It's not an issue. Yeah, it's available.
Go ahead. The perfect salesman. Thank you, David.
We're just waiting.
You're waiting for the orders, you mean?
For the orders, yeah.
All right. Well, if that wasn't an appel, then I don't know what would be. Next question up. Can the colors of the Ambia be changed later?
Yeah, this is something we've learned from the customers in the past. The Aguila Movita was also had could be delivered in different colors. But of course, after 4, 5, 6 years, when the customer decides to renovate the hospital and goes, they've just bought themselves these beautiful bright yellow pendant columns, and they want to go for pastel shades, then yeah, it can be a little bit difficult. So, as we learned, the frame around the outside of the columns, the drawers, the fronts of the drawers, the wooden fascias, they can all be upgraded, changed at a later date. Yes, possible.
I love how you really pay attention to your customers' needs and really adapt to that. So that's a clear yes, to changing the colors later on down the road. Thank you so much, David. Can the lights also be controlled externally via bus systems DALI?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, we've had DALI now for a few years. So, of course, all the lights in the system are digital, can be controlled by DALI, yes.
All right, thank you so much. Those are all the questions we have for now. Thank you so much, David, for your time.
Pleasure.
And hey, for making this session, this hour, even nicer.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, of course, to all of you for all of your interesting questions and for participating in this Q&A. We will be sure to get back to answering all of them after the event if any question might remain unanswered or if you still come up with one. We will publish all of the answers on our website along with the questions, and you're going to receive an email with a direct link as soon as they're out. And David did a fantastic job throughout the session, as I've already mentioned. You know, if I should ever be thrown into the unusual situation to have to design a healing environment, I would really know who my go-to man would be. Thank you, David, once more. And I think all the specialists did a fantastic job today, for that matter, not only David. Wouldn't you agree? I can only imagine how stressful a job in medical care, from OR to neonatal care, how stressful it must be. And in light of declining satisfaction of the medical staff, not to mention rising frustration during the pandemic, personally, I think that we really need to do everything to make this job even just a bit more comfortable. So I'm glad that we all gathered here today to discuss just that matter. And I'm glad that there are companies like Dräger that develop solutions to do so. I'm sure that along with you, our partners from the architectural or planning field, we can contribute to a brighter future in medical care. I sure hope so. And now it is up to you. Get in touch with your local specialists who know any and everything about the availability or options in your country. Those may vary. Discuss all of your ideas and develop them with the experts in one of our regional design centers. We're thrilled that you've shared all of your challenges. Thank you for opening up to us, and thank you for joining our live tailor-made event and the launch of the Ambia supply unit. Stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic day. See you soon.